How's it going, everybody? Today I'm here with Logan Shinholzer, the founder and owner of the Contractor Growth Network. How you doing, Logan?
Eric, I'm good, man. I appreciate having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you being part of the JobTread community here as one of our partners. You're also one of our sponsors for JobTread Connect. You're a sponsor last year as well and coming back this year, so we're super excited and very appreciative of that sponsorship and your involvement, helping us put on this community and deliver, so much education to all of our JobTread customers here. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious, why don't you kind of just tell us a little bit about, what is Contractor Growth Network, and, how can your services benefit, all those JobTread contractors out there?
Sure. So my background is my dad was a pond and water feature contractor up in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And about 9 years ago, he turned to me and said, look, my marketing agency that's doing stuff with us, it's just not working out. And if I'm going to waste money on marketing, I might as well waste it on my own son. Do you want to try this marketing stuff for me? And I was like, I don't really know much about marketing, but I'll see if I can figure it out. And then 3 years later from that, it was starting to work so well that his buddies, who are also contractors, started to reach out and say, hey, I've been seeing what you're doing with your dad's company. Can you do the same thing for me? And that was really how Contractor Growth Network started, where it went from me just helping out my dad's company to now I got other people wanting me to do the same thing. And 6 years later, at the heart of it all, we are a digital marketing agency, and we focus on really 4.5 different services. So we do marketing strategy, we do website design and development, video production and marketing, SEO, and then the half service is going to be your social media consulting. So digital marketing agency, we primarily focus on more design, build, or like longer sales cycle companies. So more in the lines of like, if somebody's going to wake up in their home and they have an emergency, that's typically not going to be the type of contractor we work with. But if it's like a longer sales cycle, we need to nurture the clientele. That's our sweet spot, and we do it with those 4.5 services.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's kind of our bread and butter too, with the JobTread community here. I know we probably have countless mutual customers here that, we've I think been friends for several years now.
Yeah.
I met originally, I guess, at probably the Mile High Profit Summit, Tom Reber's event, like 3 years ago. And, ever since then, we've been kind of running across the same circles. Got a lot of people, that use JobTread, they use your services. I know you guys are very familiar with kind of helping kind of connect a lot of the lead generation, kind of having it flow directly into JobTread. You guys are very familiar with our product and platform too. So that obviously helps, kind of be on the same page with our mutual customers. So this year at JobTread Connect, you're going to be doing a talk, harnessing the power of client testimonials with video, building trust and amplifying your brand. I'm curious if you give us a little bit of a teaser about that.
Yeah. So the way that it really works of how do we actually attract more of our ideal client is we really need to just show them what it truly looks like to work with us. Kind of going back to my dad's scenario, he said, look, can you get my phone to ring, Logan, with people that actually know that we do a really good job, where when we leave the property better than when we found it. We pressure wash the driveway, we soft rake the grass. When we show up, like, we're courteous to neighbors. Like, if everybody knew what it looked like to work with us compared to everybody else, like, they would move forward with us at a higher price point than all the other competitors in the area. Can you make that happen? And part of what we did was we really just focused on video, because that was, like, in my mind at the time, the best way to showcase what it truly looks like working with my dad's company. Mm-hmm. And now 9 years later, the only thing that's changed really is video is even more prevalent. So at the end of the day, if you're really trying to grow your customer base by showing people what it truly looks like to work with you, the best way to show that off is to actually use it first in a very visually demonstrative way, which is video. But then two, instead of you just saying how great you are, have your client say how great it is to work with you in storytelling form. Because when that happens, and that's what I'm going to be going through, I'm going to be talking about examples of, like, look, this is not me making this up. Let me show you every single HGTV show that all your clients, they all watch. It all follows the same structure and the same formula. This is how you can do it in your own business. And we're actually going to be doing some fun live training to actually walk you through step by step. This is how we're going to build this story together. And then the last piece is the easy part, which is just get it on camera, get it out to the masses, and then game on. So it's all about how do we take all the amazing things that your clients are already doing in referrals, saying about you, what they like about you, why they're going out of their way to bring you up in conversation. Now let's capture that, put it into video form, make sure it's a fantastic story, and then get it out to the whole market.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm pumped to come hear you speak about
It's
that.
cool. It's fun. I
Yeah.
love it.
I've been, I've been kind of following along your social for a long time now. I mean, you do a great job, communicating, putting out, tons of video content. I mean, obviously, you preach what you live what you preach there, or whatever that saying is. But I think that you're spot on, man. And video it really is, it's king this day and age. And a lot of people, though, they can't afford to hire a full-time videographer, but that's not an excuse to not be able to leverage it. So awesome that you guys are providing that as a service and can really help people showcase themselves in the best light.
Yeah, it's awesome. Essentially, it's just going to be our way of saying, look, this is how you could become your own mini HGTV. And whether you just go out with a cell phone and just make it happen on your own for, you're doing it, but it's very minimal budget compared to you hire a full-on crew to come out and you get the lighting right and all that kind of stuff. Either way, at the end of the day, it's a story. And if you can learn how to do that exact thing, then as you grow within the business, then you can step up the actual production quality and how much you amplify it out there. But the foundation of what we're going to be talking about here, that's what really makes these videos stick and makes the companies that we do it for really memorable in their prospective clients' minds. So that's exactly what I'm teaching on. I love it. And the beauty here that we don't always talk about is like the story aspect of like how we do this with video is the same way that you can craft it, that message of what it looks like to work with you on your website, on social media, in email, essentially across the board, because story is story and that's how you stand out. So I love it. I can talk about this stuff all day, talking about it for 45 minutes down in at JobTread. So I'm pumped for it all.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So curious, just what if you had to pick one piece of advice that you would give construction companies who are struggling to attract the right type of lead, like what would that be?
The number one thing I can tell them is adopt the model. And this is like our thought model that we talk a lot about, which is called be the part, look the part, attract the part. And what that really means is first, do the things that your ideal client wants you to do. All right. If you're trying to work with really high-end homeowners and we're not showing up the way that we're supposed to be showing up, nice collar, shaking hands with the clientele, communicating, all those things, we got to first do those things. But if we are doing those things, make sure we're able to articulate what that is. Then make sure in the look the part aspect, you actually properly reflect that online and offline in your brand. It seems very simple, but most people that say, I only work off referrals, it's because all the amazing things that they do in homes, nobody knows about it unless a referral speaks up about it. So make sure that if you're doing amazing things, then you're actually properly reflecting that both online and offline in your branding, your marketing, all that stuff. And then lastly, that's when you get into the idea of now let's pour fuel on the fire, do some ads, do billboards, commercials, things like that. But first, start with the foundations here. If we're trying to attract more of our ideal client, one, do the things that our clientele wants us to do. Two, make sure that it's obvious from our branding perspective that we actually do those things. And then three, then and only then do we want to pour fuel onto that fire. Go in that order. You'll be good to go.
All right, man. Well, I can tell you're ready to bring the fire
ready to
again
go,
this
man.
year. Yeah. So we can't wait to see it, man. We're just a few weeks out, or maybe 6 weeks or so. I mean, January 17th to the 19th, JobTread Connect, Dallas, Texas. Come meet Logan in person. Get to hear, all of his education. I mean, his presentations are top notch. One of the best speakers I've ever met. You've done a great job building your company, Contractor Growth Network. So can't wait to have you out there. Can't wait for you to be there. Get to help all of the JobTread customers and our community as a whole. Thank you again, Logan, for being part of it. And we will see you in Dallas, Texas, in January.
Eric, I appreciate it, man. Guys, I'll see you there.